Howdy, folks. I'm Jittery Jack in the pulpit, jauntily jumping to joyful jams.
I'm Amber.
Here are more joyful jams for us to jump to rock out to, because that's what Jack and the pulpits do. They're not a nearly extinct flower, they're rock stars. Let's get started. And folks, if you're new to this show, welcome. This show is where Amber and I talk about how to make concrete for the next 20 minutes or so.
No, that's not true at all.
Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Filing for Divorce After Discovering My Husband's Very Conservative Beliefs? I'm a 26-year-old female, and I've been married to my husband, a 27-year-old male, for 2 years now. Our relationship has had its ups and downs, but recently, I discovered something that has shaken me to my core. I have always been open-minded and quite liberal in my beliefs. I volunteer at a shelter for people experiencing homelessness, and I work at a center specializing in youth mental health. My husband, on the other hand, portrayed himself as similarly minded when we first met. We fell in love, we got married, and I have been the primary breadwinner while he pursued various career interests, none of which have panned out so far, and he is currently unemployed. The trouble started when I stumbled upon some online activity that revealed that he holds very conservative views on social and political issues. These were views that he never expressed before, and when I confronted him about it, he admitted that he had been deliberately hiding them from me because he knew how important my progressive values were to me. I asked him about the Women Belong at Home posts that he had made, and asked him if he thought that I would be better at home. He told me yes, he thought that I should be a housewife. This revelation hit me hard, and it's not just about the difference in beliefs itself, but the fact that he kept this fundamental aspect of himself hidden from me. I feel like I truly don't know him anymore, and I'm struggling to reconcile the person that I thought that I married with this new reality, especially because his views in this case are unrealistic, especially due to him not having a job. I've always been open in communication and honesty in a relationship, and now I feel betrayed. It's not just about politics, it's about trust and respect. I am the one supporting us financially, and while that doesn't bother me inherently, the fact that he misled me about something so significant does. I filed for divorce and gave him the papers today. He pitched a fit and got really angry at me when I told him that I was leaving him. He flew off the handle when I mentioned I was glad the prenup kept our finances separate. He told me that I can't leave him like this, and that I was a jerk and a B for dumping him like this. That I promised to be with him for richer or poorer, and in good times and bad. I feel a bit guilty about leaving him in this way, though I can't be with a person who thinks the way that he does about women. Am I the jerk? Alright folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. And I mean, I think this would be the same for any major revelation. The thing here is that he hid something very important. He misled OP. She did not know who she was marrying. I don't blame her for feeling hurt and betrayed, especially to find out that her partner sees her as lesser than and is happy to mooch off of her, but thinks that she should be at home.
So, I don't think that OP is divorcing him because of his conservative beliefs necessarily. I think that OP is divorcing him because she doesn't know who this person is. And I think that is a fair perspective. When you marry someone, you expect that they have been open and honest with you and haven't been hiding important or omitting important details about themselves and their life. And the moment he wasn't honest with OP about who he was the big problem in this relationship. What's going to happen when they have differences in beliefs about child care, child rearing, and those kinds of things? And I think those are really important questions for couples to be aware of and work together on, right?
Right, well, and was he just sitting on this until his career took off so then he could kind of start molding her into his ideal?
Yeah.
It shows here that he does not respect her as she is. He wants a partner who's something that she's not. And that's not good for a relationship.
No, it really isn't. So I feel bad for OP in this situation, but I think that they did the thing that was best for them. Mm-hmm. And I can't blame them. Like if it had been like a kid he had been hiding, mm-hmm. right? I wouldn't blame OP for divorcing someone for having a kid that they had been hiding, or any number of different circumstances as well.
Or any number of things. Like there's all kinds of things people hide, like that you could end in marriage over.
Yeah. Or they had like $800,000 worth of debt or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Where suddenly now OP's like, I didn't know about this debt. I wasn't aware of this financial situation. I think there are really some things that are divorceable offenses if you haven't told people about them. And certainly, like, it's unfortunate that this relationship is unsalvageable. But again, I think that he really, how is OP going to trust anything he says at this point in time when he so openly lies by omission? But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And C. Senya says, not the jerk. So he's living off of your welfare. You supply the money, and he has conservative views. And Funskirt 8220 says, making him a loser by his own definition, not the jerk. And G&D Flip says, lol, that had me cracking up. He's conservative, yet he's living off his wife, the person that he wants to be in the kitchen and having his babies. All right, then. And I also do want to kind of point out there is a lot of hypocrisy in there. If he's spouting certain beliefs online, and then he's not doing the same thing in his real life, then he isn't really being a sincere or genuine individual on any front here.
Well, I think he wants someone to finance his endeavors. It sounds like he has specific things he wants to do for a career, and until one of them takes off, you know, he's gonna have to rely on her, so he's gotta camouflage who he is.
Yeah. And Object Failure says, info, would you have dated him had you known his beliefs early on? In other words, are you more upset about his beliefs than the fact that he kept them hidden? And OP replies, apparently he liked me and thought that he could fix me with pregnancy, according to one of his posts. Well, that puts a whole new spin on this,
Yeah,
right?
I was wondering if he was just waiting till the baby came to start, you know, forcing these beliefs on her.
Well, I mean, you speculated as much when you were talking about this earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it seems like he thought he was going to be able to change her and turn her. And I don't think that's a very good, like, you should be happy with the partner you have, and you shouldn't be trying to mold them into a new partner. So I think that this isn't a healthy relationship, and it would have probably ended at some point in time anyways.
Right. And it's best that OP get out now before he starts manipulating her.
Mm-hmm. And 750 Turbo 11 says, I promise to cherish, love, and support unless you became a Republican, laughy face. And the lotion in the basket says, it kind of feels like she betrayed because of his politics and not because he hid them from her. I'm just wondering how, after 2 years of marriage, this has never ever come up in conversation. He's never once even suggested that he might lean right. I find that very hard to believe. And OP replies, he represented himself as center-right when we met. I was okay with that because I thought that we shared similar core values. Turns out I was wrong. And again, it feels like he really took the situation and tried to manipulate OP more than anything. So I really don't blame OP for being upset with this. Like, if she has certain things that she really values, and those are values that her partner really needs to share, or it's a deal breaker, then I can't blame OP for, you know, not wanting to continue the relationship.
Right, well, and that's it exactly. Like, whether it's because she feels betrayed or because he doesn't share fundamental values, both of those things, trust and values, are fundamental to relationships, and either one is worthy of breaking up a marriage over.
Mm-hmm. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Having My 2-month-old Wear White to a Wedding? I bought my baby girl a super cute dress for a wedding. It has lots of pink and blue flowers and comes with a pink cardigan. The base of the dress is white. I would have gotten something off of Amazon, but I didn't have time. The bride said that she would love to have us there with the baby, so we decided to attend last minute. Someone, not the bride or anyone in the bridal party, told me that it was inappropriate for her to wear and that no one should wear white at the wedding. Rules apply to kids as well. They said not to be surprised if someone dumps wine on her. She's 2 months old. It's not a frilly, fancy, lacy dress. It's just cotton, one that I bought at Walmart. Can the baby really upstage the bride? We are going for a short time, and the baby will likely be strapped to me the whole time. I would never wear white to a wedding. I had to wear it to mine, actually the wedding of one of these girls. I truly don't think that it's inappropriate. It's mostly pink and blue. Am I the jerk for taking her in this dress? I most certainly will be if someone pours anything on my child. All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. I mean, one, we have a 2-month-old. 2, the dress isn't even white. It has a white base, but it's a floral dress.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who dumps wine on an infant for wearing white to a wedding, like, just should not be there.
Well, I think that's really what it boils down to, right? I mean, it would be wild if they went and dumped wine on a child who can't even dress themselves or pick out their outfits. Like, maybe someone could judge the parents at the
Right.
very worst here. Like, okay, suppose they put her into like a little mini wedding dress with a little mini veil, and we're like, look at the little bride to be, or something like that. Yeah, that would be like creepy and weird, but this is clearly not a wedding dress. It's not clearly anything meant to upstage the bride.
Right. I mean, are, all the dudes who come in tuxes, if they have white shirts underneath, are they going to get wine dumped on them?
Probably. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Finn1013 says, I would just go for a light yellow or a pastel. It's just uncouth to wear white, and there's a full spectrum of available colors for an infant. Seems like you're just looking for or hoping for issues and seeking attention. If I were the bride, I would just roll my eyes at you for this. And OP replies, at my local Walmart, there were 3 dresses that were remotely dressy. 2 were white and 1 was green, but not the size that I needed. I went with a white dress with the most coverage as possible. I mean, I think this person's being a little odd with their judgment here.
Yeah.
And they got downvoted a lot too, so it's not like everyone's agreeing with them or anything. And Finn1013 says, there's more than one store you can shop at. Try Target. I'm just pointing out that you do have other options. You just seem to want to make a point or potentially antagonize the bride. And OP replies, okay, sure, I have time to drive 2.5 hours to my closest Target. Not everyone lives in a place that has stores available and all around you.
Yeah.
Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Not Letting a Pregnant Woman Have Any Cake at My Birthday? My birthday was yesterday, and my husband invited his best friend Matt and his best friend's pregnant girlfriend Jane out for a barbecue. They lived 2 houses down from us. It was only us, our 3 children, and them there, and their 3 kids. I spent about $90 on hamburger and hot dogs. Matt showed up with 2 pounds of hamburger. While the guys cooked, I went swimming with all the kids in our pond. Jane sat near the guys on her phone. Around 5:30ish, the guys called up the kids for food. Me and my middle child, 9, weren't hungry yet, so we just kept swimming. We spent a good 40 plus extra minutes in the pond on our tubes. I wasn't paying any attention to anything that was going on near the grill at that time. Around 6:15ish is when my husband said that he was going to go to the store to buy some beer. So I told my son that we should probably go and eat now. My husband and Matt are gone by the time I get up to the grill, so it's Jane. Well, we get up to the grill and all the food is gone. Literally everything. I call my husband and ask him where all the food is, and he said that it should be by the grill. I tell him that everything is gone. There was a long pause before he goes. Jane asked if she could take some of the leftovers, but I didn't think that she would take all of it. He then tells me there were at least 8 burgers and 10 hot dogs left, as well as macaroni salad when he left for the store 10 minutes prior. I tell him to call Matt and see where all the food is. He does, and then he calls me back and says that Matt claims that Jane only took a few and that they had already been eaten. But my oldest son, 13, straight up tells me that he saw Jane walk off our property carrying the entire dish, one of those extra large foil barbecue dishes. Anyways, I'm mad at this point. Me and my son hadn't had anything to eat. My husband is also mad, but he just grabbed me and my son something from the store instead of making a huge fuss. I don't really blame him. Him and Matt work together, so it is what it is. Anyways, much to my surprise, Jane and her kids come back over 45 minutes later and ask if they can have some of my cake. I tell Jane that her kids can have some, but she can't. She asked me why, and I said, I'm pretty sure you've eaten plenty considering you took off with my entire barbecue dinner before me and my son could eat anything. She tried arguing that my husband told her that she could have it, that half of it was hers because she brought 2 pounds of hamburger meat, and that she didn't realize that me and my kids hadn't eaten. She was beside the grill the entire time. I just shrugged my shoulders and I walked away. She tells her kids, let's go, and they leave without any cake. Now I'm feeling like I might be the jerk. No one has said anything, but I know that there's tension. All right, folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. I mean, who goes to someone's birthday celebration and then takes all the food before the birthday person's eaten?
Well, I do. I thought that was just general etiquette. Like, you go to the place, you vacuum it up. Like while the burgers are still on the grill, you sneak up to it with your own spatula that you brought, and you right into the purse.
Yeah, no, that's not good etiquette. I mean,
I think you underestimate the appetite of my bag.
is your bag, like, animate?
It could be. It could be.
They're not even leftovers until the party's over. Like, I understand at the end when things are wrapping up, she could have asked, but, like, in the middle of the party when it's still going, to just, like, run off with all the food, like, I think it's pretty clear she knew what she was doing wasn't okay. And,
Yeah, I think that she did know what she was doing. I think that she because, like, why would they have lied about the whole, oh, well, it's already gone, or and they only took a few leftovers here, or whatnot, because they knew that somebody was upset about this, and so they tried to play it down like, oh, there were only a couple things left. We didn't know that you hadn't eaten. Like, who goes to somebody's birthday party that's about the birthday person, steals the food before their birthday person can even eat, and then is like, oopsie daisy.
right, like, it seems like she was a +1 invite to begin with, and then just, like, the audacity of, like, I don't even care about the birthday person, I'm just gonna take all their food.
Yeah, and the least they could have done is just walk down to two houses and grab them a burger or something like that, and been like, oh, really sorry, here, let me go grab that stuff. I didn't know that you hadn't eaten yet. Like, if they'd been truly sorry, they would have just gone and grabbed them a couple of burgers or something like that.
Right, or paid them, or found some way to compensate for it. And, like, it's just not good etiquette.
No, I think that if I have to make a guess, I think that they probably have financial struggles because of the cost of food. And they probably were like, well, this will be good to supplement our meals for a couple days or something like that.
They might be. I wonder, though, because OP's husband works the same job as her boyfriend, like...
Well, it sounds like they have, like, 3 kids or something. Like, well, I guess
OP has 3 kids.
OP has 3 kids. I guess Jane probably has some kids, too. So, I don't know. Like, yeah, it could just be that they are bad with their money.
It could be, or they could just be entitled. I mean, some people, even if they don't have financial issues, are just penny pinchers.
Yeah.
And they will take everything they can.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Not Shocked Fruit Weird says, not the jerk, who leaves a party with all the leftovers and then has the gall to return for more. And Healthy Magician 502 says, Jane, obviously. And Bendy36 says, Big Jane energy. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here. And Amber, she has a joke.
John, do you know why the Statue of Liberty stands in New York Harbor? Jim, because it can't sit down?
You know, the Statue of Liberty is very hardworking. It's been standing for a very long time. And I have Mega Mint. Alright, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Spectacular Saturday, folks. I hope your Saturday is off to a spectacular start. Oh, and folks, we have a live stream coming up on Friday. We hope to see you there. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance. And please, have it on petty theft.
Don't
petty theft. That's right, folks. Don't petty theft unless you have a very hungry bag. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.